think there's a great deal of misunderstanding when mentioning the concept of self-care or self-love. I recently revisited an interview with the great former NFL running back Ricky Williams, where he shares his thoughts on how self-love was a struggle for him. Let's check it out.
In this exclusive report, the Saints running back reveals to our correspondent and producer, Sean Pamflon, that he suffers from a disease called social anxiety disorder, and he's currently taking medication to control the illness.
I mean, I had all these questions, like why am I like this? Why are these things happening to me? Why do I feel like this? And I didn't understand why.
Well, a social anxiety disorder is a very debilitating disorder.
But it's just like a thin line between comfortable and uncomfortable for me.
And people who have a social anxiety disorder, the universe revolves around them.
And I feel like they are watching me.
You can't put him anywhere. He's something of an enigma.
And it comes out that I'm strange and that I'm weird and that I don't fit in.
The general public really does not have a good understanding of what a social anxiety disorder is.
At 5 years old, you're locking your apartment and putting your sister to bed and setting your own curfew because your mom is working. And when you're growing up alone like that, you're going to find strength in strange places.
You just got to make plays down there.
Like, that's what my helmet was when I was a rookie talking to the media with like a security blanket. Like, my whole thing is just to feel comfortable. And in college, I'd get away with these security blankets because, people liked me and they were just like, okay, just let him be him, and it's not hurting anybody.
Is there a potential drawback for people finding out about this with you?
Well, hopefully this problem isn't going to be around very much longer. I'm going to get this fixed.
10 to 20% of the population have some variant of it. It's basically a combination of being non-assertive and also having a certain amount of phobic fear of being in situations where there are other people present.
But like, I hate it though. Like, I always sit in the corner of a room. Just always sit in the corner.
Like when you walk in, you naturally
like for the draft, I was sat in the corner, like there was a trash can in the corner. Like, I sat and just put my arm around the trash can and just sat in the corner so I was not in the middle or the center of attention.
Everybody's like, hey, there's Ricky Williams, there's Ricky Williams, and he like bends over, like holding his stomach, like clutching his stomach, like bends over, and the people start walking away. Oh, it's like Nat now. Look, he's become too big time for us. What a dick! Oh, he's on something.
I just started looking back at different events, and then I was like, something's wrong. And I think the fact that I know what's wrong now, it makes a big difference.
What's your relationship like with the local media here now?
It's not good at all, but because of the way that I am towards them, they see me as being standoffish. But my point of view was, don't portray me as a star until I start playing like a star. And that was a big thing for me.
Do you think some of it relates to the fact that in New Orleans so much is expected of you?
Well, I think the basis of the whole thing is that my imagination is lively, and I think I see things that really aren't there. Like, I think that people don't like me here, and that everyone has a negative opinion of me.
How do you see yourself?
I don't really know anymore. I think right now I have kind of a small fear of success because I know the more success I have, the more attention I'm going to get. And once I can do that, I can embrace success and go after it like I used to. Admittedly, right now, I'm conflicted because I'm the kind of guy who always wants to be the best. And like, literally, I'll go from today thinking I want to be the best running back ever, I want to be in the Hall of Fame, whatever, and then tomorrow I'll be like, I don't even want to play football anymore. And I go back and forth, like, the deep down heart in me wants to go out there and be the best I can. But this anxiety has got such a strong hold on me, it kind of blinds me sometimes to what I'm really going after.
When you're on the field, do you ever feel this way?
Never, ever feel this way. I mean, I don't know if it's the fact that I have a helmet on and all my pads on, but I don't. When I come off the field, it's a little bit different.
Are you going to talk to your teammates about this at all?
No, hell no.
There's still the perception that it's a form of weakness.
I mean, they know I'm shy, and as far as they go, that's good enough for me.
But how did they really know you, though, if you haven't really spoken to them about that?
Because they see how I work, and I don't know. I guess I expect them to know me more than I give them a chance to.
Do you think that, like, when this comes out, that people will have a better understanding of who you are, maybe like cut you a little bit more slack?
I mean, I'm not really doing this just so people will cut me more slack. I want people to know that I'm not weird. You know, people are so fast to blame, for one, blame their parents for all their problems, and two, like, clip a disorder or a label to what they have. Lately it's become cliche, it's become like a scapegoat or an excuse, and I don't want that at all. And like, not at all. Reasons, excuses, there's such a thin line, you know, and I've learned that in the real world, those things don't really exist.
It's an incredible thing. Perhaps one of the rarest things we have in life. Therefore important to remind all of the importance of it. Self-love has nothing to do with vanity. This is not about patting yourself on the back, or your ego, or your puffery. All bioforms are fundamentally insecure, or have inner security levels. This is why we all have an immune system and have built-in fear mechanisms that are within us all. Look at the way we're raised. We are conditioned from the moment we enter into the world, starting at home, continuing at the institutions, magnified by society. People look at themselves wanting to be someone or something else, something that's not them, like someone else or better than someone, or not good enough for something or someone. At an early age, human beings don't think very much of themselves. Funny how life works. You have to be so incredibly disgusted with yourself and your life to even have a chance to break out of that. Self-love is truly a rare thing because it's rooted in your own authority. What happens from conditioning from the moment we come into the world is that we lose our authority on this plane. We are trained to give up our authority. Starts with our parents, teachers, coaches, law enforcement, or any authority figure. Our partners, friends, dogs, governments, gods, you name it. It's fundamental in all of us because everything about the homogenized world is rooted in control. Control is used as the basis for keeping you safe. It's all about control. Look at what's going on in the world today. Look around you. What you can control, what can be controlled, and having control over the population is the only way the control mechanism works. We're all trained from a very early age to give up our authority. Yet the moment that you give up your control and it's in the hands of others, you never feel quite complete. You can never trust in yourself. Then you end up in a life that you are not self-minded, rooted in your own openness, and conditioning is making these decisions for you, taking you further and further away from who you really are. Human design offers a strategy and an authority, an inner authority, not a made-up one, not a philosophical one, but an authority that's part of your biological mechanism. It's in your wiring. It's an authority that doesn't require your mind. It's an authority that allows you to operate correctly as yourself. It allows you to navigate on this plane correctly as you. This is what authority is all about. The moment you begin to experiment with your authority, you discover something. It's quite remarkable that you're okay. Not only are you okay, but you can navigate on this plane. Your ability to deal with this and handle that, life suddenly becomes something that is much easier to deal with. And for the first time, you begin to experience potential inherent in you. And you are your own authority. This is where the self-love begins. It begins with trust. Not trust in somebody else's authority, but trust in your own authority. Do the hard work. Follow your strategy and authority.